You know that feeling, right? That first bite of ice cream. Sometimes it's incredibly dense, creamy, almost chewy. It just coats the spoon. But then, there's the other kind. It's cold, sure. It's sweet. But there's this weird emptiness to it. It's not bad, it's not melted, it's just hollow. And the strangest part, the container still says ice cream. So what's going on here? Why does one feel like a decadent luxury, and the other feels like a scoop of sweet frozen air? And once you notice it, you can't stop noticing it. That lighter ice cream scoops out almost too easily. It looks fluffy, and sometimes it melts in a really odd way. Like it holds its shape for just a second too long before it all just collapses. This is not in your head. Your mouth is picking up on something very, very real. But the reason for that fake feeling, well, it's probably not what you're thinking. It has almost nothing to do with fake ingredients and everything to do with a hidden structure. So what is really happening? How can two products, both legally allowed to be called ice cream, feel so fundamentally different? One feels real and satisfying, and the other one just doesn't. Now, most of us, our brains jump straight to the obvious answer. It must be packed with chemicals, right? Or fake dairy, or just some artificial junk. I mean, the texture feels unnatural, so it's an easy conclusion to make. But that explanation completely misses the real secret. And here's the secret. Ice cream isn't just a frozen dessert. It's an engineered structure, a really delicate balance of solid, liquid, and foam all at the same time. And if you can understand that structure, you can solve this entire mystery. Okay, so let's zoom in. If it's a structure, what exactly is it made of? Turns out every single scoop of ice cream is a carefully built frozen foam that has four main parts. You've got billions of tiny air bubbles, microscopic ice crystals, little droplets of fat, and, this is the cool part, a thick, sugary syrup that actually never fully freezes. That syrup is the whole reason ice cream is scoopable and not just a solid block of ice. But out of all those parts, the one that matters most for our mystery is the air. In food science, the amount of air that gets whipped into ice cream has a special name. It's called overrun. And the rule is simple. The more overrun you have, the less actual ice cream you have, and the more air. And the difference here is, well, it's staggering. A really dense premium ice cream might have around 25% overrun, but a cheaper mass-market brand, it can legally have up to 100% overrun. Think about that. That means the container can literally be half air. So that empty feeling you get, yeah, it's real. You're tasting a scoop that is literally less dense. But that's still not the whole story. Because just knowing the amount of air doesn't explain why. Why would a company want to pump their product full of air? And that brings us to the second big reveal. These two types of ice cream are actually designed for two completely different jobs. See, premium ice cream is designed for one thing and one thing only: indulgence, that rich, creamy experience. But mass-market ice cream, it's designed for something else entirely: survival. Think about the absolutely brutal journey a tub of ice cream has to take. It's frozen in a factory, then it's bounced around in a shipping truck, stored in a giant warehouse, sits under the bright lights of a grocery store freezer, and then it gets taken home to your freezer. And all along the way, it's getting partially thawed and refrozen over and over again. For a delicate structure, that's a death sentence. So, to survive all that, manufacturers engineer it for stability. They add ingredients you might recognize, like emulsifiers and stabilizers. But here's the thing. They're not in there as cheap filler. They act like architectural support beams. Their job is to hold that delicate foam structure together and stop those big crunchy ice crystals from forming. So that fake feeling isn't a sign of a bad product. It's a sign of some really clever engineering. Maybe the easiest way to picture it is like this. Premium ice cream is like a dense memory foam mattress. It's heavy and rich. Mass-market ice cream is more like a big, fluffy pillow with a lot more air trapped inside. Or think of it like fresh bakery bread versus packaged sandwich bread. One is designed for that perfect, immediate experience. The other is engineered to stay soft and consistent for a long, long time. Okay, so what does all of this actually mean for you when you're standing in the freezer aisle? How can you use this to become a smarter shopper? It's actually pretty simple. Next time you're shopping, just pick up two different brands. Feel the weight. If one feels surprisingly light for its size, now you know exactly why. It has a high overrun. It's full of air. And when you read the ingredients list, don't automatically be scared of stabilizers. They aren't just chemicals. They're the guardians protecting you from that grainy, icy texture that nobody likes.
So, you actually have a new way to think about this. That light, fluffy texture isn't really fake, it's consistent. What you're tasting is a product that was masterfully designed for stability over pure, decadent richness. And all of this leads us to the final, fascinating twist in this whole story. A product can check every single legal box required to be called ice cream, while at the same time, completely failing to deliver that creamy, luxurious experience we all expect from it. And that's because the label on the carton and your taste buds are running two totally different tests. The label is asking one question, does this meet the minimum legal definition? But your mouth is asking a different question, is this rich, dense, and indulgent? And as we've seen, those are not the same thing at all. So, the next time you take a scoop of ice cream and it feels a little weird, a little too light or empty, just remember what you're really tasting. You're not tasting a fraud. You're tasting a frozen foam that was brilliantly engineered to survive the modern world.